Well, we met in the summer of 2018 in Vienna. I was in town for an internship with the State Department. And I think it was day one, yeah, it was day one, that I arrived that I opened my app, Bumble.
So, modern romance, we met on Bumble. We both swiped right.
Within the first 5 minutes, we started chatting. We got on so well. I remember pacing around the really empty apartment I was in at the time.
It just felt supernatural. We just kept sending messages back and forward, and we exchanged phone numbers.
Yeah, like a couple days later, Sarah recommended this great cafe in town, like super traditional, and being very American and not having any experience really being in Europe. It was just very overwhelming at first, but.
So we went on our first date at a cafe in Vienna, and we chatted for a long time.
We spent hours in that cafe, getting to know each other and just feeling really comfortable. I mean, it felt like we had known each other our whole lives, and I know that's so cliche and so many people say it, but it's true. It was just amazing.
As you do when you meet someone for the first time, I had a escape plan. I was writing my thesis at the time, so I said I had to leave to work on that later, but I ended up not needing to use the excuse because we were just having such a nice time.
She had an out if she was like, all right, yeah, this is enough. If she wanted to take it. Of like, oh yeah, I'm doing my thesis, I'm finishing up my thesis, I need to go finish that. And then very quickly, like 3 or 4 hours into the date, we just kept going.
And then, yeah, we spent the summer together in Vienna. We did a trip to Budapest a few weeks after we met.
Looking back, it's crazy that I even asked. We've known each other for 4 weeks, and I'm already asking her to go to Budapest, but.
Which I was very surprised when he asked me to go on a weekend trip, and even more surprised with myself that I agreed to go. But we just had the best time. We just explored the city, and I think we learned what it would be like to travel the world together, which is what we've done for the last almost 4 years now, is just experience the world. And we had such a nice time, and that's kind of when I knew I was falling in love with him.
But when I would have phone calls with my parents, that was kind of the moment I realized, oh no, I'm in love with this person. This is my person. It was so funny because people talk about the moment they realize, right? And some people have this really impactful, boom, there it was, that moment. And for me, it was talking about us. It was like, oh yeah, no, there's no way I could mistake this for anything else. So.
If you think of it on its own, it's crazy. But when we thought of it with each other, it was just what we needed to do to be together, and that's what we did, and it all worked out.
Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the wedding celebration of Sarah Henry and Ryan Bolt. Our two eternal optimists have held the hope this day would come, and here we are. When they legally joined in matrimony, one big thing was missing: you. This much I know to be true. Our lives are better when we're together to witness the most exuberant expression of truth, saved only for days like this.
So every speech, starts with a thank you for coming, usually, but that can't begin to express how grateful we are to have all of you here together in one room, especially from so many places. So we can't put into words just how much we appreciate the distances so many of you have traveled to spend today with us.
I bet many of you thought we were a bit mental when we said that we'd met each other and we were going to, after only a couple of months, we were going to start doing long distance. From the very beginning, all of you have been so supportive to us throughout this journey, celebrating with us when we were together, and also being by our sides to cheer us up when we were apart. Home is where love resides, memories are created, friends always belong, and laughter never ends. It is an honor for us to see all of our homes together in this room. We are just so unbelievably happy to have all of you with us today. we'd like to raise our glasses and toast to you. As we say in Austria, Prost. Prost.
Sarah and Ryan, what patience you have shown. In all that has changed in the past few years, we still believe in love. Ryan, Sarah, there is nothing more powerful than two people in love with a dream. In just one look, you two can read each other's minds. In just one date, you were sure these feelings would never end. And when your eyes met, you knew you were in trouble now. You have someone by your side who will follow you anywhere and make every experience more real, more meaningful, and more breathtakingly beautiful than you could ever have imagined. So what is this crazy little thing called love? This small word is much mightier than its size. Those 4 letters are simple, uncomplicated. A lesson to remember, it's the little things that always matter. You found a love that echoes in every aspect of your life. It's held in those invisible threads as you are miles apart, but closer than ever. It bounces off you when you travel the world together. It swells up in your chest as you watch each other take on new challenges. It is strung between the laughter you share with your friends and your family. We can't plan for it. We're not planning on falling for anyone. Maybe that's how something great always begins. Laced in those first messages between you that flew back and forth with intrigue. You can still recall the details of that first date, as if you were sitting there right now, in that very same spot, in that Viennese cafe. You remember the words spoken, what you ordered, the hope that this would be more than a summer romance. You couldn't have imagined that 4 years later, you'd be married, living together, just a few blocks from the same cafe you had that first date. Van Gogh says, normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk, but no flowers grow. Because how we travel anywhere is just as important as the destination. And I believe that when you go off the beaten track, you're rewarded with the best views. So let's check in. You've had a trial subscription to Married Life, and I think you'd agree it's pretty good, right? Yeah. So I have an important question. Sarah, Ryan, do you still wish to be husband and wife?
Yes. I think so.
Ooh, what a relief. So, Sarah and Ryan, we have made you wait long enough. You've kissed 1,000 times, maybe more. But today your kiss feels new as you seal your vows. Congratulations, you may now kiss your groom.
Ryan, I have taken you to be my lawfully wedded husband. From taking that first leap and committing to give long distance a go, there has never been any doubt or question. I knew it would always be you. Our love, enduring across the distance, always felt, whether we are together or apart. We overcame a lot in the beginning, hours spent on FaceTime, learning and loving more each day. The excitement and nervousness turned pure joy as one of us entered an airport arrivals hall. And the beauty of days finally spent together, prickled with the anticipation of it coming to an end. I will never forget those feelings. Thinking back to when you were in DC and I was in Vienna, and how much time was spent worrying about what would come next and when the stars would finally align so that we could be together. I once texted you saying, "There's so much uncertainty for us, next steps for jobs and where we'll be. I'm very aware of how little I know what's going to happen in my life right now. What I do know though is that I love you. You are my certainty." It was true then and it is true now. Whatever happens, knowing I have you is all I need. You make everything better and make me feel like I can do anything as long as I have you by my side. Thank you for the beautiful life we are building together. I feel so lucky to spend today and all of my tomorrows with you. I promise to be your #1 fan, celebrating your accomplishments and always supporting you to get everything you want out of life. I promise to always cherish you, finding comfort in the parts of us that are the same and appreciating what makes us different. I promise to make you laugh and never stop being silly. And above all, I promise to love you for all that you are and all that you will become.
I've taken you to be my lawfully wedded wife, my best friend, my partner, and the love of my life. How do I begin to explain how much you mean to me? How much I love you, how much I love us, and the future we are building together. From the moment we met in that cafe in Vienna, you filled my life with so much joy, so much to be thankful for. Waking up next to you every day, to spend all of our days together, is a gift I am eternally grateful for, and I'm so grateful because we know what it means to be apart. For 816 days of long distance, we kept our love strong through early morning calls, international flights, and handwritten letters. In one of those letters, I wrote something that is still so true today. I wrote, "Whatever the distance or the time, I know there is no one else I would rather experience life with than you." Time always ticks too slowly when we are apart and too quickly when we are together. But that tells me I'm in love with the right person. Sarah, you are my person. I know because for every one of those 816 days apart, and every day since, I have felt so loved by you. Through your words, your actions, and the way you look at me. I promise to wake up every day and do everything I can to be the best husband for you. I vow to work through life together, sharing the big and small decisions, from what we'll have to dinner to what country will make our home. I promise to stand by you, be your shoulder to cry on, your calming home when things are tough. I promise to always cherish you, finding comfort in the parts of us that are the same and appreciating what makes us different. I promise to make you laugh and to never stop being silly. And above all, I promise to love you for all that you are and all that you will be.
When you've got a child either studying or working in a foreign country, all you want is for them to be safe, healthy, successful and happy. And so far, so good. We're so proud of you both and what you have achieved. But most of all, I'd like to thank you, Ryan, for being the best friend Sarah could have. From that first day she mentioned you, her smile has grown wider and wider. You have made her so happy. The success you have made with your careers and the support you give each other, the home you have set up together, and the adventures and travels you have made together and will in future, long may it continue.
I'm going to say this very publicly and for the record. I'm so very proud of the man that you have become, Ryan. your strength and independence, and your big picture, whole world perspective on life. I should have known when you're 8 years old and you shunned cartoons in favor of watching BBC News before school that you were destined for the journey that you and Sarah are on. I'm incredibly proud and blessed to be a part of your family. And you are inspiring and so very organized and attentive to all the details that make life around you feel effortless, easy, and special.
Then, during one of our daily texts and messages, I get a text saying you'd met someone. From that first text, all I knew was that he was American and he was funny. Well, Ryan, although you are indeed American and funny, you are so much more than that. You are kind, thoughtful, curious and ambitious. But what impresses me most about you is how much you love Sarah. I know that she will be safe and happy with you in her life. And as her mum, that is all I can ask, and I thank you.
As soon as Ryan and Sarah started dating, we could tell their relationship was special. Despite the obstacles of a 9-hour time difference, Ryan and Sarah committed to each other. Ryan stayed up late and Sarah woke up early. They were technically talking on different days and living on separate continents, but it was clear that they were always together in thought.
Even over a Zoom call, the love and commitment Ryan and Sarah have for one another shines through. Today, we couldn't be happier to be celebrating such an inspirational love here in person. We'd like to cheers to many years of happiness for Mr. and Mrs. Bolt.